Unit 7, Exploration and Adventure. Unit 7, Lesson 1, The Polynesians. The Polynesians were probably the best explorers in the history of the world. They traveled thousands of kilometers across the Pacific Ocean in large boats called double canoes. They could look at the stars and know which way to go. They also understood the winds and the ocean currents. They made maps of the stars and the ocean currents. They made these maps out of sticks and shells. About 4,000 years ago, a group of people lived in southern China. They were a mixture of white, black, and Mongol people. When the Chinese moved farther and farther into the south, these people needed to find safer homes. Slowly, these people left China in their double canoes and started toward the southeast. They took animals and plants with them. A group of people might arrive at an island and stay there until they had children, grandchildren, and great-grandchildren. Then, a few families might start traveling again. Some canoes went one way and some another. It took hundreds of years for them to reach all of the islands in Polynesia. The double canoe is one of the greatest inventions in history. The Polynesians were among the greatest sailors in history. They understood how to sail by the stars and use the winds and ocean currents. This made them great explorers.
Unit 7, Lesson 1, The Polynesians. The Polynesians were probably the best explorers in the history of the world. They traveled thousands of kilometers across the Pacific Ocean in large boats called double canoes. They could look at the stars and know which way to go. They understood the wind and the ocean current. They made maps of the stars and the ocean current. They made the map out of sticks and shells. About 4,000 years ago, a group of people lived in southern China. They were a mixture of white, black, and Mongol people. When the Chinese moved farther and farther into the south, these people needed to find safer homes. Slowly, these people left China in their double canoes and started towards the southeast. They took animals and plants with them. A group of people might arrive at an island and stay there until they had children, grandchildren, and great-grandchildren. Then a full family might start traveling again. Some canoes went one way and some another. It took hundreds of years for them to reach all of the islands in Polynesia. The double canoes is one of the greatest inventions in history. The Polynesians were among the greatest sailors in history. They understood how to sail by the stars and use the wind and the ocean current. This made them great explorers.
Unit 7, Lesson 2, A Giraffe in Central Asia.
Tamerlane, 1336 to 1405, was a very strong Mongol leader. He and his soldiers fought until Tamerlane became the ruler of all Central Asia. Rulers of other countries wanted to make friends with Tamerlane. It was safer to be friends than enemies. Ambassadors from many countries took gifts to Tamerlane. They took beautiful cloth, jewelry, gold, and silver. They often tried to take something unusual as a gift, too. In 1404, near the end of Tamerlane's life, an Egyptian ambassador arrived in Samarkand. This was where Tamerlane lived. The ambassador and his men traveled on horses and camels. They brought a giraffe from Africa as a gift. Egyptian camels and horses were used to walking in the desert. They did it all the time. A giraffe is not used to the desert. But this giraffe walked 5,000 kilometers from Cairo to Samarkand. We know about the Egyptian ambassador's gift because several people wrote about it. No one wrote that Tamerlane liked it. However, we suppose that he was very pleased to have this strange African animal in Central Asia.
Unit 7, Lesson 2, A Giraffe in Central Asia, Tamerlane, 1336 to 1405, was a very strong Mongol leader. He and his leader fought until Tamerlane became the ruler of all Central Asia. Ruler of all the country want to make friends with Tamerlane. It was safer to be friends than enemies. Ambassadors from many countries to give to Tamerlane. They took people clothes, jewelry, gold, and silver. They often tried to take something unusual as a gift too. In 1440, near the end Tamerlane's life, an Egyptian ambassador arrived in Samarkand. This was where Tamerlane lived. The ambassador and his men traveled on horse and camel. They brought a giraffe from Africa as a gift. Egyptian camel and horse were used to working in the desert. They did it all the time. A giraffe is not used to the desert, but this giraffe walked 5,000 kilometers from Cairo to Samarkand. We know about the Egyptian ambassador because several people wrote about it. No one wrote the Tamerlane like it. However, we suppose that he was very pleased to have this strange African animal in Central Asia.